You could tell that there's a large disconnect there, but no one can say that he doesn't care. It's just what he's thinking isn't working.
I want to mention also, since we talked about this a couple of days ago and there was no update, this person says, Vince scripted the AEW line on Monday. I bet it was to see how much of a reaction it would get from a WWE audience in Kansas. So, one of these days, unless like he gets a job as an agent and like he lives, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, unless Sammy is a lifer, like one of these days, Sammy is going to do an interview and he's going to tell you exactly what happened. And what happened, I mean, what I can tell you for sure, and I don't know like all the circumstances and what happened during the day, but what I know for sure is Sammy was under the impression that he was supposed to say that line. And he did not go into business for himself. He did not decide that it would be something edgy. But he decided, or he didn't decide, he was told that line was okay. And by the time Raw went on the air, that line was not okay. And however things happen, they happen. But Vince was absolutely furious that line made television. And he did talk to Sami Zayn afterwards. I don't know what was discussed, but that's the story of what happened on Monday. Back in a moment.
Great way to bring him back.
Yes, Wrestling Observer Live. Back in the show, Brian Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also WrestlingObserver.com. So, that's the most annoying thing. This is even worse than the WWE apologists, is the Vince Russo fans. So, I usually just like ignore them, but I got to at least address this here today. I don't even know why, just because it's fun. This person says, does it even matter if Ambrose left WWE? I think it's a work anyway. Vince sent him to AEW just to work the fans. I think he is funding that company. And then this person here says, are WWE and AEW working together? Vince Russo is claiming this factually on Twitter. So, I shouldn't have even mentioned this because, like, all he's looking for is for people to talk about him because otherwise nobody talks about him except to say he's an idiot. But I will talk about him and I will say that he is an absolute idiot. Now, this is not really a defense of Vince Russo because he is an absolute idiot, okay? But there is like a reason that you see these conspiracy theories, not just in professional wrestling, but like all over the world in real life. There's all sorts of conspiracies, whether it be politics, environment, whatever, and professional wrestling, these conspiracy theories. And the reason, as I mentioned yesterday, that there are conspiracy theories is because people find it hard to believe that they're looking for a way to explain something that seems ridiculous, or that they want to make sense of something that seems preposterous. And this AEW WWE thing, like if you watched Raw and it's like that's their reaction, it doesn't make any sense, okay? It reminds me, there are a lot of people that, regarding the PoC and AEW deal, there are a lot of people that believe that it's a visa issue. And I would not consider these people stupid. This is very different. Like, there's a level of stupidity involved to think that WWE and AEW are working together. Like, a profound level of stupidity. The visa thing is not stupidity, but here's the thing with people believing that PoC did not do the show because he had a visa issue. And then we got this story about the Dragon Gate title and all this and that. So, here is the story about why PoC was not at the AEW show, okay? So, PoC was supposed to face Adam Page. I'll make this as quick as I can. So, the idea was that PoC was going to beat Adam Page, and then at either the Fight for the Fallen or the next pay-per-view or whatever, they were going to do Kenny Omega versus PoC, and Kenny Omega was going to win. So, this was all agreed to months and months and months ago. Everything was all ready to go. So, shortly before the pay-per-view, PoC alerted the company that there are no plans for me to drop the Dragon Gate title. And I guess the idea was he's not going to be champion forever. So, like, he can beat Hangman, and then when he drops the title, we'll do the match, and Kenny Omega can beat him. Well, apparently, whatever the plans were in Dragon Gate, they were changed, and he was told, you're not losing the belt, like, any time in the near future. So, at that point, in AEW's mind, well, we're going to have this guy beat Adam Page, who's one of our biggest stars, and then he can't lose to Kenny Omega. Because Pac told them I could do no jobs as the Dragon Gate champion. And at that point, their whole thing was, well, we're doing all clean finishes at the pay-per-view. Wins and losses matter. It doesn't make any sense for Pac to come in and beat one of our big stars and then, like, go on and have to beat everybody else because he can't do jobs. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull him from the show, and when he loses the title, we will book Pac again. That was what they came up with. Now, I've had people say, dude, like, if you don't want him to do a job, why couldn't it have been a three-way with Pac and Hangman can beat the other guy? And then Pac is still on the show, but he didn't do a job. I have no idea. They had a bunch of different ideas, and they just decided, you know what, it's easier to just not have the guy on the show. We'll do the match in England, we'll air it on Tuesday or whatever, we'll give the people the match, just not on the pay-per-view, and away we go. So, this is so convoluted to some people that their presumption is this can't possibly be why he was not on the show. It's more likely that he had a visa issue, and that's why he's not on the show. Well, at the end of the day, Occam's razor, if the reality was that he had a visa issue, it would have been so much easier to just say, Pac has a visa issue, he can't be here, he's off the show. Nobody would have complained about it. Nobody would have been upset about AEW. Nobody would have questioned their booking and their ideas and everything like that. It would have been over and done with in 15 minutes, and everybody would have moved on. But instead, this story here, people are still talking about it 2 years later. It's led to people going, dude, how are they going to run weekly television? Like, this is madness. Like, you took the guy off the show, you couldn't do another finish or put another guy in there or do whatever. Like, people are still baffled by this 2 weeks later. It would have been so much easier to just say it was a visa issue if it was a visa issue. But it wasn't a visa issue, and so we still have this. So the point of this is why conspiracy theories spring up, because people look at something and they just go, like, what? This doesn't even make any sense. That's what people think about Raw. I believe Vince Russo is just out there trying to push people's buttons and get people talking and rally his base and just be an idiot, but I understand some conspiracy theories for certain reasons, but this one's just stupid. It's madness. It's idiotic.
Well, it's a timely relic in that we're just coming back off of the Viceland documentary of dredging back up. Did Vince and Brett, was Brett in on all of that? Did they plan all of that? Was he all of that?
Some people say
nonsense?
yes, because they hear the Montreal story, and it's like, if you hear it in 2019, it's preposterous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, the camera crew that just happened to be there and everything?
All
yes.
of that. But it was a different time, and it was a different place, and it was a bunch of things that all happened to come together in a perfect storm, and it was real. But looking back at it in 2019, I can at least understand people going, dude, this is weird. Like, really? All of that over a belt?
The realest stuff is always sometimes faker than wrestling. So, it's the some of the things you can write don't end up being as great as what you get by happenstance, and that's what that was. But those conspiracy theories never went away. They get dredged back up. We're in an era now where there's more conspiracy theories than ever, so it doesn't surprise me in the least that somebody would want to latch onto that and throw it up against the wall. It's when you give it any sort of attention whatsoever is where it becomes the problem. So, I would probably just be done with it at this point.
This person here on an unrelated note says, will the match with Marco Stunt be streamed anywhere for people to watch? Yes, in fact. The former Powerbomb.tv, now IndependentWrestling.tv, will be streaming it in 2 days, 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 38 seconds. So if you would like to see this match, you can go to IndependentWrestling.tv. There may even be a promo code if you search around for it to watch for free. In fact, I believe if you go to the Black Label Pro Twitter at BLabelPro, you might be able to find one to watch it for free. But all of the matches will be streamed, and you can also get access to all of the other matches from Black Label Pro's shows, including the matches I have done there, the last Marco Stunt match, the Rock and Roll Express match with me and Filthy Tom. It's all up there at independentwrestling.tv. This coming Saturday night, June 1st, 4:30 Central, Crown Point, Indiana. I will retweet the information about that show here in a bit, but
it's a great service over there. They got Uncharted Territory every
all sorts
Wednesday.
of stuff.
Beyond Wrestling's putting on. Basically, you can see almost every match that Filthy Tom Lawler has ever been involved in somewhere on that site, including many Black Label Pro matches. But my big question to you is, I know it's not up on Black Label or on the independentwrestling.tv website. Is the snuff video that was recorded at PoE between you and Logan Stunt, is that ever going to be released and put out there so people can see this type of beating? And
you got to talk to Ed.
I say, because would Mama Stunt show up to this if she saw what? I mean, she saw the results of what happened to her baby. I mean, why does she want to be there to see this in person?
Because she thinks that Marco's going to get revenge. She's
funny.
Incorrect. To the phones, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up?
So did you catch the Double or Nothing on pay-per-view? Like, I know Dave did. I was just wondering if you did, because like the biggest star in the show was Vinny. Once they caught a big shot of him when they were talking about the attendance.
I'm well aware we were all over that, but no, I have not watched it back yet. I don't watch him back like Dave. Dude, I was there in the front row. I got blood on my phone during that Dustin Cody match.
No, yeah, we caught you right there, but it was like a big shot of like Vinny right there.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask you, like, if you changed your thoughts on the Forgotten Son, because I know last time you talked about how you were wondering why they won the Dusty Classic, if it was because they have long hair like Triple H. But I checked those videos out on the NXT taping. That was like one of the best matches I've ever seen, because I like the way those guys work. It's what I grew up on, like a lot of like a fast-paced match with a lot of bumping and feeding with a lot of intensity.
Well, I haven't watched the NXT show from last night yet, but I'll watch it tonight. And listen, if they have a great match, I'll be the first to tell you they have a great match. If they improve, I will be the first to tell you. You know who's improved a lot is Sonya Deville. And a few years ago, I watched Sonya Deville in NXT, and I was just appalled. I was appalled. And she has improved dramatically. And there are a lot of people that I've changed my mind on. And if the Forgotten Sons can change my mind, I'll be the happiest guy around. Because I don't like watching things that don't blow my mind. Especially on NXTV. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Back on the show, Brian Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. All right, a couple of things here. First off, if you'd like to attend the show this weekend, Crown Point, Indiana, myself versus Marco Stunt, I've in fact retweeted the link to get tickets. It is up there right now on my Twitter, at Brian Alvarez, up there at the very top. As noted, I will chop Marco within an inch of his life in front of his mother and his father. I don't care about the rest of the family. I mostly want to chop him in front of his mother. And I guarantee that if you show up live for this event, it will be an experience you will never forget, especially if you're there in the splash zone, much like I was in the middle of that Dustin Cody match. I was in the legitimate splash zone, and I plan to chop him until it becomes a splash zone on Saturday night. So the link is up on my Twitter, at Brian Alvarez, and also the secret code, if you want to sign up at independentwrestling.tv, the secret code to get 20 free days, which will get you this show on independentwrestling.tv, is in fact Black Label. So use that. You get 20 free days, including Saturday night's show. Do not miss Saturday's show. My match with Marco, no holds barred. So there will be no DQs. There will be no countouts. There will be no draws. Well, there will be draws. I will draw blood. But other than that, pinfall or submission. So there you go.
You think Grandma Stunt's going to be there?
Oh, no, are you kidding me?
Chop her?
I'm not chopping his mother.
Why? What is
I'm chopping him in front of his mother.
Chop his
I have
grandmother.
standards here.
Why? Stunt granny.
No.
You know?
Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, my call actually pertains to your feud with Marco Stunt. The local promotion to me, it's a Cape Championship Wrestling. It's a home promotion of Marco's. I'd actually like to see your feud with Marco come there, so I could see Marco kick your ass live.
Oh, get out of here.
Cake? What was it called?
Let me tell you something.
Keebler?
That feud ain't going to go there. You want to know why? Because the feud is going to be over on Saturday night. It's going to be over. You will never see Marco stunt on the Indies again.
Matchbox.
I will finish
wrestling.
him off. I broke one leg, and I broke his brother's leg, and now I'm going to break his other leg. And if there's anything else available, I'll break that. If I break his leg and he doesn't give up, or if I break his leg and the stupid referee doesn't stop it, or do whatever, like the show this past weekend, I'll break his leg and then I'll break his arm next. I will keep going till this match is over.
And spit in the referee's face.
I slapped that referee so hard on Saturday. I slapped him right across the face. It was Friday. And he just walked out. He just walked away and he never came back.
He was shamed. Absolutely shamed.
Man. It was
I hope you chop.
glorious.
I hope you chop Marco so hard that his mom feels it out there in the crowd there.
No, she'll feel it because it's going to be right there on the barricade, right in front of her, unrepentantly. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Tim in Miami. I'm scared right now, Brian.
It should be.
That was intense. I listened to the...
Wait till you see it.
What really... I probably won't watch it. I'm sorry.
We'll watch it.
What really stuck out to me about the Moxley thing was, he's talking about these things months later, and he's in a much better place, but was the palpable sense of frustration. And you just, kind of compared his situation to Sasha and the Revival. And I think those things are a little bit different because Moxley wasn't complaining about his push, his place on the card, or how he's being used. He's complaining that they don't know how to write a good show. And so my question for you is, we've heard about the frustration within the WWE locker room. Does it have more to do with the Sasha Revival, we're not getting pushed angle, or is it more the Moxley, these guys have no clue how to put together a good show, and I don't want to be on a bad show angle?
You'd have to ask everyone individually. I don't know. It depends on the person. Like some people want to get out there and they want to just have wrestling matches. The thing with Moxley was his big issue wasn't even the wrestling. Like he
Right.
talked about it, but his big issue was my character sucks. These promos are awful. Like, I grew up cutting promos. Like, that was my thing. I was a promo guy, and I believe I can be a great promo, and I believe that I can talk people into buildings, and they have this person that doesn't even know me writing words for me and giving them to me, and it's stupid, and it sucks. Like, that was his big issue. I did find it interesting. Yes.
Oh, he was very specific. He said he hated Monday. He hated TV. He was very specific that was the thing he complained about. But my question is, why don't more guys, especially, people with some pull there, why don't they in Vince's face? Like, if you're, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, okay, you're the son of Cowboy Bob and Mike Rotunda. You know that cutting the lights in the middle of a WrestleMania World Title match and projecting maggots and worms on the screen is a dumb idea. How did that go forward? Are they just not...
What's Randy going to do? Quit?
No, you say this is stupid.
I'm sure some people do say this is stupid. Like, some people have more pull than others, but you literally have got to be like a John Cena to be able to affect any sort of change with Vince McMahon. Like, if you're a mid-carder or even an upper mid-carder, you're just going to go out there and do your thing. You might say, hey, can we not do this or whatever, but what are you going to do about it? You have two options if you're not happy there, okay? There is the Sasha Banks Revival option, which is complain really loud and ask for your release and just go about it how I believe is the wrong way. And then you've got the Dean Ambrose way, which is just, I signed this contract. That's how I do business. I'm going to finish it out and I'm going to leave. And they're going to offer me more money. And they're going to do all sorts of bizarre things to try to get me to stay, but I'm not going to stay, and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to go somewhere else. That's your two options. There are no other options. And somebody asked a question here. I'm going to see if I can find it because It's an interesting question. It regards CM Punk. See if I can find it here. They're basically saying, like, if the CM Punk thing happened today, I should find it before I do it. You have any comments, Mike? I should go to the phones. You're on the air. What's up? I'll find it. Caller, you're on the air.
Good, because I don't have any thoughts. Let's go.
Caller, you're on the air. I'm going to give you one chance. Ready? Going once. Going twice.
Right, hey, Brian.
Hey, what's up?
Brian, I was just wondering, I always thought of you as a family man, and I was just curious that when you're chopping Marco into oblivion, you look over and you see Mrs. Stunt crying and begging for mercy. Do you spare Marco?
No, are you kidding me? I'm a family man with my own family. It's his fault.
But I mean, if you see those tears running down her eyes, screaming for her boy, I mean, you got to have a heart, Brian.
Oh, yeah? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, buddy. Two things. First off, his stupid family could have left me alone. You ever see what his dad says about me on Twitter? And his brother came in. He sent his Taekwondo brother in to try to take care of me.
How's that working out for him?
Marco talking all this trash on Twitter. You seen these promos his kid cuts on me? Like, this is his fault. I'm not the one who brought his mother there. He brought his mother.
Like
so
real
that's it. Okay, here's the text message here. And notice how this is phrased. If CM Punk walked out of the WWE today instead of years ago, would he get the same reaction from the fans as Sasha and Leo? Well, why did you choose Sasha and Leo? How about the Revival or Luke Harper or any of the other people that have wanted out? And here's the thing, everybody.